There's one particular bass sound which completely dominated 90s house music, and it has been featured in hundreds, if not in thousands of productions. And this bass sound is so good that it survived being dragged completely through the mainstream and the mud, has been featured in all kinds of cheesy Eurodance productions, but still stayed relevant in the underground up until this day. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to create your own version of this bass sound from scratch. But I have to warn you in advance, things are going to get quite nerdy. So if you're just looking for a quick fix to get your hands on some cool bass sounds, you might just want to check out my website, olienshouse.com, and the sample packs I have there. But now, let's jump right in. So this really famous sound I'm talking about is, of course, the so-called Lately Bass, which is really just a preset on a specific FM synthesizer by Yamaha, the TX81Z, which I happen to have in my rack over here. So I hooked it up to Ableton Live and created this little loop so we can listen to the sound of the original preset coming from the hardware. Just this really nice, classic, solid sounding bass sound, right? The sound actually changes quite a bit depending on the velocity. So if we bring down the velocity quite a bit, it gets a lot darker and a bit muffled. And then at higher velocities, it gets really bright and a bit spiky. So that's the sound of the hardware. Of course, you also have some software options. So for example, we have the DX7 plugin by Arturia, which also comes with a Lately Bass preset. And it sounds like this. Let's bring up the velocity even a bit more. Let's compare it to the hardware one more time. So for me, both of them sound pretty cool and somewhat similar, but there are also some pretty clear differences, which for me kind of settles this whole hardware versus software debate. I'm not saying which one sounds better or worse, but at least there's a noticeable difference, right? Which is interesting to me. But how do you actually create the sound? And something that I haven't talked about in my prior FM synthesis tutorials is feedback. And it's this option that some of the operators that you have can modulate themselves, and in the case of the Lately Bass it actually has quite a big impact. So let's listen to the plugin. We have this feedback option here. Without the feedback, it just sounds like your other classic FM bass, right? If we now jump into the hardware, I'm actually using this editor right here. This is connected via MIDI. Whatever I do on here actually changes the hardware. Let's play this loop again. So for example, if I adjust the envelope. And here, of course, you also have the feedback option. If we take that out. So what's up with this feedback? Let's look into that a little bit. And for that, I have this instance of operator here, and we're going to use an oscilloscope and Voxengo span. In FM synthesis, you of course have your different operators, which you can either use as a sound source or as a modulation source, depending on the algorithm that you pick. And the last operators in a chain can also modulate themselves, which is called feedback. So here, let's just say we take this algorithm where all our operators are actually sound sources. So we're just going to turn these off and just use operator A with a sine wave. Now we have this feedback function right here. So if I just play a note now, let's actually adjust the envelope a little bit. So we just have a sine wave, which can now modulate itself, which will mean, okay, sine wave with a ratio of 1:1, basically, it's going to create some overtones similar to a saw wave. So if we bring up the feedback, so we basically almost create a saw wave. Look at this, right? The phase starts in the middle, and we're going to talk about phase in the context of FM synthesis in a second also. But you see, and the moment we go higher in feedback, kind of gets out of control. The pulse width changes a bit of the saw wave. And then it just gets noisy, and you find this. You saw this little square wave pop up in there, right? Pretty interesting. If we were now to use an envelope on this and just control the volume of this operator with our feedback, basically the quieter it gets, it also modulates itself less. So We actually have to adjust the envelope for that. It becomes almost like a filter, right? This is already cool. This is already a pretty cool sound, but it sounds really similar to somewhat like a filtered saw wave. But it's not the same because we're reducing the overtones by kind of reducing the volume of this operator, which in turn also reduces the modulation due to the feedback. The feedback is really important, but let's also check out the other settings which we're going to need to create a Lately bass from scratch in any FM synth. So let's open up the editor one more time and just check this out. We already talked about the algorithm, right? The tuning, we have to put operators 1 and 2 1 octave below operators 3 and 4. So as you can see here, they're set to 0.5. And then these are set to 1. You could also leave this at 1 and set this to 2, just to have them 1 octave apart, basically. Almost all of these operators are using a sine wave. Just operator 3 is kind of using this kind of funny half sine wave, which starts with the sine wave, but then has some silence or zero amplitude in a way. The envelopes are pretty straightforward as well. Operator 3 is slightly sharper and shorter in envelope than 1 and 2. And then for operator 4, we have a bit of a sustain in here. The levels, 1 is turned all the way up. Then 2 and 3 are a bit quieter. And then 4 is a bit louder than 2 and 3. Over here, we have a bit of an LFO on the pitch, but that's really like a little minor impact it's going to have. And then operator 3 is slightly detuned by some sense, right? So let's check out what these are doing. If we were just to play operator 1, a bit higher, so we can hear this. The moment we bring operator 2 in, it sounds like this, as you might expect. Let's check out operator 3. So this is kind of creating a little funky detuned punch at the beginning of the sound. And then 4, this is where really the sound comes from. So this is just with 3, a bit lower, just with 4. So you can tell that really the Lately bass magic is coming from operator 4. But then there's this little extra hit and grain that happens through this operator. So 1, 2, and 4 are going to be the most important, and then we will see how we handle operator 3. Also over here, you can see that the velocity impacts the level of these different operators. So let's also keep that in mind. But let's now grab a fresh instance of Ableton's operator and try to replicate the sound from scratch. Let's just do the basic setup first. So you of course need the right algorithm. We're going to pick the second one over here. Let's turn off the filter because we're not actually going to be using that. And then we said, okay, we want operators 4 and 3, or in this case C and D, to be 1 octave higher. So let's put this to 2. We're detuning this one a little bit, right? Let's get the rough envelopes in. So now we're at A. Was supposed to be relatively snappy, playing a sine wave, right? This one also a sine wave, also relatively snappy, a bit less volume over here. For this one, we were really just taking care of the beginning of the sound. So let's bring this in here. Supposed to be at the same level more or less. This was supposed to be slightly higher. And obviously we are supposed to turn up the feedback. Maybe a bit of LFO modulation, as we said. Make this relatively slow, bring this down. And let's hear what we have. Okay. Let's get a single span in here to also see something. Okay. Doesn't quite sound like the Lately bass yet, so let's see what we have to fine tune. Obviously the levels and the envelopes are pretty important. So maybe make this a bit longer. Then here we said we had a bit of sustain. Okay. We're kind of getting there a little bit. Let's take care of this one for a second, because as we've seen in the other one, we didn't use a normal sine wave for this. There was actually kind of a half sine, so a sine and followed by some silence. And unfortunately, you cannot pick this waveform in here. But I did some checking, and if you open up, for example, the DX7, which does have this specific waveform in here, I just used that to figure out, okay, what harmonics are present in this waveform. So let's play that. This is just this kind of weird, funky waveform. Let's hold it. So if I'm playing a G, which is convenient because it's just 50 hertz, we can now see exactly what overtone structure this waveform has. So we're jumping to the next harmonic, so an octave higher, doubling basically the frequency from 50 to 100, jumping to 150. But then from 150, we're jumping straight to 250. So we're kind of leaving out one harmonic. And this row kind of continues like this. So we're at 250 more or less, 350, 450, and so on. So we have somewhat of a weird saw wave, which has a more quiet fundamental note, which has the first three harmonics of the series, but then just every other harmonic, and it's getting quieter, right? So in many FM or additive synthesizers, you also have this option to put in a custom wave, so like a user wave. Let's put this on 32. So now we can draw in these harmonics. So we're going to pick the first three, as we saw, the first one a bit quieter, then one a bit louder, and then this one a bit louder than this one. And this one we're actually skipping, jumping right to the next one, and just using every other harmonic now. So this way we can kind of get somewhat close. If you spend a lot of time on this, you might get very close to the actual wave, but you can already see, okay, we have this first here, and then it gets a bit quieter. Let's see if we can, what happens if we do this? Okay, you can also visually try to kind of get to that point. This a bit quieter maybe. Cool. This should be enough for now. You know, it's not exactly the same, but it's just for the spike at the beginning. Okay, maybe that's a little something. Let's have a listen again. Let's make the envelope here a bit longer, adjust the envelopes a little bit. So that's already kind of cool. Let's bring this up a little bit maybe. Okay. Getting a bit closer, but something I realized, like I was trying like this on Operator and I didn't get close enough for my taste to the actual Lately Bass. And I realized that small changes in the envelopes or in the level of the different operators has a pretty big impact, but also the phase of how these waveforms interact with each other can have a pretty big impact. So if you're actually changing the phase of the last two operators, it will have quite an impact in the sound. So here we're just, phase is basically where does the wave start. So if we're moving the phase, you can see how the waveform starts at a different point. And ideally, you can create a click if you're kind of moving it to a point where the waveform starts not at 0. But if you move it to 50, for example, it's also at a 0 crossing, just that the phase is flipped. And here, with a phase setting of 50, it gets much closer to the actual Lately Bass. So without feedback and without the phase shift, you just get this, but with the feedback and phase, then you can obviously decide, okay, how bright you want this to be. We said, okay, we want some, the velocity is supposed to also decide. I think that's already preset in Operator. Nice. So we can even bring this down a bit. This already sounds like a pretty cool Lately Bass. So this is the settings, right? Take care of the tuning, make sure the envelopes are on point. This one may be a bit spikier even. And then feedback and phase is pretty relevant for that. Let's jump into FM8 to see if we can put up something similar, or I already kind of created something similar here with just 3 operators. One of the differences in FM8 is that if you put the feedback to 100, it gets really over the top. So each synthesizer is a bit different. Here you have some different options for the envelopes, which is nice. So in here basically also we have F being put out, then E modulating that, D modulating E with some feedback. And now we could also say, okay, let's bring in another one, which is also modulating this. So in here you actually have like some of the TX waves, which are similar to the half sine that we saw. So these are like some funky waveforms. I think it might even be TX3 or something like this. So it's actually TX5 in here, right? And then you can also, instead of having to adjust the phase here, you just have an invert option, which also has a similar impact. So for operator D, I also inverted the phase. Sounds like this. Yeah, nice. I hope you found this helpful. If you want to have the preset for operator or for FM8, you can find it for free over on my website, ulienshaus.com. Let me know in the comments if you have any additional questions. Some of this is a bit fast, but check out my other FM synthesis videos if some of this wasn't really clear what's happening here. On a little side note, why you can't replicate something like this in Serum, for example, is, to the best of my knowledge, you can do some FM in Serum, but you can unfortunately not use any feedback. So if you choose a modulation source, for example, for oscillator C, the moment we go to FM, we can see, okay, it doesn't offer C to modulate itself. That's why certain dedicated FM synthesizers in the end are better for the job in this case. But yeah, thanks for watching and looking forward to see you in the next one.